Let me ask you something. How many times have you set a big goal and then watched it fade away after a few weeks? You start with fire, with passion, with vision, but somehow life happens. You lose momentum. You lose focus, and before you know it, another dream is left half finished. The truth is, most people don't fail because their goals are too big. They fail because their systems are too weak. So today, I want to show you how to build a system, a structure that makes your goals inevitable. Not optional. I want to show you how to design your life so success becomes the only possible outcome. Clarity is where everything begins. Without it, even your strongest efforts scatter in every direction and achieve nothing. Think about it. How can you hit a target you can't even see clearly? Most people drift because they confuse wishing with planning. They say they want success, but they never define what that looks like. They say they want to get better, but better isn't measurable. If your goal is vague, your mind can't commit to it. You need to give it a clear picture, something so specific that your brain starts working like a GPS, constantly calculating the next turn to reach it. When you define your goal precisely, you give your system power. Instead of saying, I want to get in shape, you decide, I will train 5 days a week, eat 1,800 calories a day, and lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks. Now it's not just a dream, it's a roadmap. You've transformed a hope into a mission, and once you write that mission down, your actions start aligning automatically. Every decision becomes a simple question: does this move me closer to my goal or away from it? That kind of clarity cuts through excuses and confusion. Clarity also builds confidence. When you know what you're chasing, you stop guessing yourself. You can see your progress, feel your momentum, and adjust quickly when needed. It turns chaos into control. Even setbacks stop feeling like failures, they become feedback. You start realizing that success isn't magic, it's the result of precise direction and focused effort. The clearer your target, the sharper your focus becomes. And when focus sharpens, energy amplifies. That's when your system starts to work for you, turning each step into progress and every small victory into unstoppable momentum. Motivation feels powerful, but it's unreliable. It's like a spark, bright for a moment, then gone when the wind changes. That's why so many people start strong and fade fast. They rely on excitement instead of structure. The truth is, success doesn't come from how inspired you feel in the morning. It comes from the systems and habits you build that keep you moving when the feeling disappears. You can't depend on moods. You must depend on routine. When you create habits, you remove the daily decision making that drains your energy. You don't wake up wondering if you'll train, study, or work. You just do it because it's built into your day. Habits turn effort into instinct. They take the emotional drama out of progress. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it, because it's part of who you are. That's the kind of automatic discipline you want to build into your system. Start small but stay consistent. Pick 1 or 2 habits that align with your goal and repeat them until they feel natural. When you repeat a behavior long enough, it becomes part of your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and start saying, I am disciplined. That shift in identity is where true strength begins. The system takes over when motivation fades. Habits also protect you from burnout. You no longer need to chase constant highs of excitement to stay productive. You simply execute, and every time you follow through, you reinforce belief in yourself. The repetition builds results, and the results build confidence. Over time, your system becomes a machine of progress, predictable, stable, unstoppable, built not on hype, but on disciplined habits that carry you toward your goals day after day. Your environment is either the fuel or the friction to your success. You can have the strongest willpower in the world, but if you surround yourself with distractions, negativity, or comfort, your system will eventually collapse. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's shaped by what surrounds you every single day. Look around your surroundings, the people you talk to, the routines you live by. They are all shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. If your environment makes it easy to quit, you will quit. But if your environment makes it easy to grow, success becomes automatic. Creating an environment that supports your goals starts with intention. If your goal is to train consistently, your gym bag should be packed and waiting. If your goal is to build a business, your workspace should inspire focus, not chaos. You must design your space to serve your mission. Remove what weakens you and add what strengthens you. It's not about perfection, it's about alignment. Every part of your environment should whisper, keep going. The people around you are part of that environment too. Surround yourself with those who push you to rise higher, not those who pull you back to comfort. Energy is contagious. When you spend time with disciplined, hungry, and focused individuals, their mindset becomes your standard. On the other hand, if you keep company with people who settle, you'll eventually do the same. Even the smallest adjustments, the music you listen to, the books you read, the conversations you have, begin to reprogram your mind. You become what you repeatedly expose yourself to. That's why building the right environment is one of the most powerful systems you can create. It doesn't just support growth, it demands it every single day. Tracking is the difference between guessing and knowing. Most people believe they're making progress simply because they're busy, but activity is not achievement. Without tracking, you're walking blind. You have no real idea if what you're doing is working or not. Success requires evidence, not emotion. When you measure your actions, you remove the illusion of progress and replace it with clarity. You begin to see patterns, what drives results and what wastes your time. That awareness is what separates consistent achievers from constant starters. Numbers don't lie, but feelings often do. One day you might feel like you're not improving, but your data tells a different story, that you've actually moved forward. On another day you might feel like you're crushing it, but the numbers show you've slipped. Tracking keeps you honest. It's your mirror, your accountability partner, your truth teller. It gives you control over your system because you can adjust what you can see. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. Tracking doesn't have to be complicated. A simple notebook, a digital log, or even a daily checklist can transform how you operate. Record your workouts, your calories, your income, your study hours, whatever matters to your mission. Review it weekly, look for trends, celebrate improvements, and fix weaknesses. Each entry becomes a data point of discipline, proof that your system is alive and functioning. The act of tracking also builds commitment. When you write things down, you make them real. You create a visible story of progress that motivates you to keep going. Over time, those small notes turn into undeniable proof of your growth. Tracking isn't just about numbers, it's about awareness, honesty, and ownership of your journey. That's how progress turns from random effort into measurable success. Most people build systems assuming everything will go perfectly. They create plans that look flawless on paper but crumble the moment life throws a punch. The truth is, failure isn't an interruption, it's part of the process. Every system faces pressure, distraction, fatigue, doubt, unexpected events. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is simple. The successful ones design their systems to survive setbacks. They don't ignore failure, they prepare for it. When you accept that challenges are guaranteed, you start building smarter. You create backup plans. You anticipate the moments when motivation will fade or discipline will be tested. For example, if you know your schedule gets chaotic, plan shorter workouts instead of skipping them entirely. If you tend to lose focus at night, schedule your hardest tasks early in the day. The idea isn't to avoid resistance, but to build resilience into your system so that even on bad days, you still move forward. Expecting perfection is a trap. It makes one small mistake feel like the end of the road. But when you plan for imperfection, failure loses its power over you. You stop seeing it as defeat and start seeing it as feedback. Every setback becomes a signal showing where your system needs reinforcement. That's how champions think. They don't panic when things go wrong. They adapt and keep going. Building for failure also strengthens your mindset. You develop patience, flexibility, and toughness. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on structure. When failure shows up, and it will, you're ready. You don't break, you bend. You don't stop, you adjust. That's how systems grow stronger, by being tested, refined, and rebuilt until success becomes inevitable, no matter what stands in the way. The real secret to achievement isn't intensity, it's consistency. Anyone can go hard for a week. That's not impressive. What matters is what you do every day when the excitement is gone and no one's watching. Most people fail because they think success comes from massive bursts of effort, but those bursts always fade. The people who win are the ones who show up again and again, building slow, steady progress that compounds over time. Consistency may not feel dramatic, but it's what creates transformation. Think of progress like water wearing down stone. It doesn't happen overnight, but every drop counts. The small habits you repeat daily, waking up early, training, reading, staying disciplined, they build invisible momentum that one day becomes visible success. You might not notice the change after 1 week or even 1 month, but one day you'll look back and realize how far those small steps have taken you. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results. It's not about perfection. You'll have off days, missed targets, and moments when you want to stop. That's normal. What matters is that you return the next day. The system doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. Even on days when you can only give 50%, showing up keeps the chain unbroken. Over time, that discipline rewires your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through no matter what. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to your system, you strengthen your confidence. You stop chasing motivation because your results now come from momentum. That steady rhythm of effort becomes your advantage. In a world full of people who quit too soon, consistency is your edge, the quiet force that guarantees your goals become reality. Let me leave you with this: goals don't make you great, systems do. Everyone dreams, but very few are willing to build the daily structure that turns those dreams into reality. Your system is your silent partner. It works when you don't feel like working. It keeps you grounded when emotions swing and focused when life gets noisy. If you build it right, it will carry you further than motivation ever could. Don't wait for the perfect time, because there isn't one. Don't wait for motivation, because it fades. Start building your system today, one habit, one routine, one decision at a time. Design your day so success becomes automatic. Let your calendar reflect your priorities. Let your environment push you forward, not pull you back. Let your consistency tell the world who you are, not your intentions, but your actions. And remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So raise your systems. Build something so strong that even your weakest days produce progress. Every great achievement you've ever admired was built on ordinary days done with extraordinary discipline. Your system is your blueprint for greatness. Protect it, refine it, and live by it. Now it's your turn. Go build it. Don't just listen, apply. Don't just plan, act. Don't just start, sustain. Because once your system takes over, success is no longer a question of if, it's a matter of when. Thank you for listening, for showing up, and for committing to your own growth. Remember, discipline is freedom, structure is power, and consistency is your legacy. Stay focused, stay relentless, and I'll see you at the top.